Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Handsome, but not an F-boy. And y'all know what an F-boy is and stuff. And I think I might have talked about this before. Man, you know what? I got so many videos all over the place, but I got a bunch of new subscribers, so you can hear this again. But how many of y'all handsome men who've been following me lately and y'all say, hey Rom, do that handsome, talk about that handsome game, have been accused of being an F-boy for no other reason than you're handsome and you probably dress well. You know, you got the look, but you ain't an F-boy. You actually a good guy who actually want to meet some, you know, you good with ladies when you talk to them, but you more a monogamous. You're more of a dude, you want to get a nice quality woman. You actually, and you know, you're going to treat them right just because of how you raised, and that's just in your personality. But you just happen to be handsome. Seriously, and this happens to a lot of men who other people consider handsome. People's, you know, how often have you met a woman and she said, I bet you a player. I bet you got a bunch of women. I know you got a girlfriend already. Or one of my favorites, if you tell them you don't have a girlfriend, they think there's something wrong with you or something. It's just like, come on. Man, but serious, it happens a lot because, and I've said this several times, and I've said two things about that. I said two things. One, many men aren't players. Like a lot of dudes talk about player card, but let's be real. Let's be real. Very, very few men are true players. Very few men are true players. Indeed, depending on what groups you roll with, you might go years without meeting an actual player. And then the second thing, a lot of the guys who are players might not stand out as physically as a handsome man. They might be more average. Like people saying, yeah, he all right. Like women would call him, you know, husband cute. He ain't drop dead fine and all of that. More husband cute. Or a dude got fixed up more. He gotta have game and stuff. And there's some deeper stuff with that, but that's a whole other video. But, you know, it's like, you know, the guy, handsome, all of that, he actually inclined. Like I've known several men who women would call very handsome. And for the most part, there are exceptions, of course, but for the most part, they get that one fine woman and they good to go. They are good to go. They not an F-boy, and then some of them, some of the guys you would think they like would look like they would get a lot of women. They the ones be like the nicest two women. Believe it or not, they the ones, no, you gotta treat them like queens and all of that. And you be like, you be thinking, dang, this dude look like the type who could be a player. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And I know it's annoying because, like I said, a lot of men, look, let's be real on something. Let's be real, and this is another reality. There are many like genuinely good men who are also handsome. They're like generally good, and when I say good, they're good people. They ain't trying to mess you over. It's not even just in how they deal in relationships, but how they deal with other people. You know, a whole lot of them go to a church. A whole lot of them go to a church or a synagogue, mosque. They real spiritual. You know, they just been raised right. There's been plenty, you know, they had their fathers in their life to really show them how to be men and stuff. So they, you know, they chill. And if a man came out of a solid two-parent family household where the father did what he was supposed to do and he stood up like a man, and he is what I always say is an alpha male, because you know when I say alpha male, I say every single man that have a family should be an alpha male at least. Because he's leading a household. He's the household leader. And there's plenty of men who came out of that. And you know what? This is the reality. Now, of course, there are exceptions. Let me be clear on that. Remember, when we're talking about relationships, it's an art, not a science. There's no hard rules, but we're talking in general terms. In general terms, if a man come out of a household, his father was strong, ran stuff, his mother respected him. Let me say it again. His mother respected the father, and she was an asset to him, you know, and she was a good mother. The young man sees this. This is what he's going to replicate. See, one of the things, I'm known for talking about the imprint, but a big part of the imprint I don't talk about for men and women is just their family life. People have a tendency to replicate whatever they saw in childhood. When you see a lot of actual players, I say for the most part, I can think of some exceptions. One particular exception, but I ain't gonna call the name. If they grew up in a chaotic, in a stable environment, they want to replicate that when they get older. So if you get a man, he's handsome, family making money, it's a stable environment. Well, guess what he's gonna look for? First of all, his imprint is the thing that sets the tone for his imprint is a relationship with the mother. The mother's good, she's loyal and everything. He's gonna want a loyal woman. And imprints like applied to women a lot. If she had that strong father figure, guess what type of man she gonna look for to have sex with the first time? She's gonna look for someone similar. That's the deeper aspect of the imprint and everything. In fact, I got a video, on-demand video, I talked about the deeper aspect. So I'll refer you to that and keep going with this conversation. But whatever the case, if a man, a handsome man, he grew up in that solid environment, the father was there, was strong, he's gonna wanna replicate that. He ain't gonna wanna be a player. He didn't see his father talking to a bunch of women and all of that. And even if a bunch of women show interest, his deep down programming, his deep down acculturation is gonna say, okay, let me get a good woman. And he's gonna be chill with that. Now, if that young man grew up in a chaotic environment, like particularly a poor, chaotic environment, this is very important. This is a deeper aspect. He grew up in that chaotic environment and he might have seen his, if a father was there, but he was a player and doing all that stuff, or a lot of times he might not have been there. It might have been just a mother sleeping with a bunch of guys. Well, guess what the guy's going to be? But more men grow up, handsome men grow up in stable environments than not, to be honest. So that's what they're going to replicate. Now they're going to fix up. They still going to fix up. You grow up in a stable environment, your father ain't going to let you walk around with, looking bummy. He's going to say, look, son, you got to do this, that. So he's going to be solid. He's going to want a solid family. He's going to want to be the alpha male to a family with a woman who's going to be an asset. But he ain't going to be an F-boy. But see, a lot of women, they don't see that because they dealt with the knuckleheads. They dealt with the guys who are out there. So when they come across that other man who's more solid, they like, something must be wrong with him. Or he an F-boy, or he's this or that. And they haven't even dealt with him. And see, it can be annoying because if you're a good man, regardless of how someone perceives your looks, you're a good man, you want people to recognize that. You don't want people looking at you like you associate with your bad man just because of how you look. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, seriously. Because that's the basis of discrimination, racism, and all that, based on someone's appearance. As Dr. King said, it should be about the content of your character. And a good man, he's going to want that. A good, handsome man, he's going to be like, hey, I want you to check this out. In fact, I've actually known many men who said, who women thought of as handsome. Because remember, whenever I call someone else handsome personally, it's only because several other women say, oh yeah, he fine, he handsome and all of that. So they said he was handsome, and he just focused on trying to do what he's doing in life. He ain't even tripping off of this other stuff. And a lot of them are looking for wives, they looking for good women, they looking for assets and everything, a woman who's going to add to his life. But, being associated with an F-boy, that's automatically, in some circles that might be cool, but let's be real. In more civilized circles, that's worse, that's terrible. It ain't cool, ain't nothing cool about that. Indeed, I've met several guys who were self-admitted F-boys. They would hit me up and be like, Rom, I gotta get out of this. That's how deep it is. So, but if you that good man, you handsome, and you associate with an F-boy, I know it's annoying. And it shouldn't be that way, but it's just how it is. you know, you get all this propaganda about women supposedly looking at a man's character and personality. It's just that propaganda. They making a judgment off how you look. Now, some women go and still, if they think you're an F-boy and you're not, they still gonna try to get with you. But then here's something else. Sometimes they stop liking that man because he is treating them too nicely. He is too kind. He ain't trying to fuck them over. So that's a shame too. That's a shame. But it's a shame, but it happens. So I wanted to address that. And like I said, people want to get into the deeper aspects of the imprint. There's a link in the description box. So anyway, was it on demand? I'll find out once I go to once I edit this. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.